Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be a good one between the New York Giants and the Detroit Lions. With that, let's head inside the Ford Field in Detroit. We're standing by are the two men who will bring you this one, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Both teams emerging from the Ford Field tunnels just a short time ago. And, of course, the loudest cheers were reserved for the hometown Lions. They're set to go as they will match up with the New York Giants. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Giants, they can't be any better as we hit the halfway mark. A perfect 7-0 on the year.
And when we looked at this team in August and we looked at the schedule, we thought they had the potential to get off to a hot start, but I don't think either of us expected 7-0.
Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is taken at the 3. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Here are the Lions. Number 9, Matthew Stafford under center. They're working with a new offensive coordinator this year who has said we are a running team. Not something you hear much nowadays, so it remains to be seen what that will mean for Stafford's numbers in 2019. A first carry for the converted wideout, J.D. McKissick. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage, stuff him in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, set the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it.
Now on 2nd and 13. Stafford, he's got a man, complete. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Stafford. And his throw is incomplete. Kenny Golladay is intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down. And now the offense for Detroit.
And the schedule makers have given them a little break right here. Back-to-back home games, and they won last week. So they're trying to make it 2 in a row before they hit the road next week. They have to take advantage of this break in the schedule.
They'll run with McKissick. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And 5 in the secondary now for the Giants on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Stafford. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked picked off at the 24. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. New York set to take the field. Here's the former number 2 pick, the Pro Bowler Saquon Barkley. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25. The numbers for him from a week ago: 14 carries, 63 yards, and a touchdown.
Well, this is where it becomes a challenge for the offensive coordinator. He's got a bell cow at tailback right now, number 3 in the league in rushing, within shouting distance of the lead. But at the same time, if the passing game is open, he's got to take advantage of that too.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Coleman, and they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw, because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. Well, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
Here's a run on first down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard. 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They will run it. It's McKissick. Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40. Well, look now at the starters for the Giants defensively. They were excellent a week ago in the victory over Arizona.
The best defenses I know, they draw lines in the sand and say you're not going to cross that. For most of them, it's 100 yards of total offense. They didn't quite accomplish that, but still a pretty darn good game last week. Just over 100 yards of total offense given up.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. Jones has it. And they'll get him down at the 34, and he's going to be short of the first by a few yards. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
So on 4th down, the Lions turn it over to Matt Prater for the field goal try. On the left hash, officially, it's called a 51-yard attempt. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad, but let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. 17 yards and a giant first down. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace. Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
We often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
Fourth down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. And look at this, it's a fake. And this is caught. And the fake will work. He's going to have a first down. A big breakdown defensively there on the fake punt. Turns into a huge play and a first down. And I don't know what the method is to know when to dial up a fake punt, when not to. Whatever the method there, it worked for him.
I think you actually did explain it. There is no method. It's just a feel, a sense, and a healthy dose of guts in order to call that play in that situation.
Element of surprise, I guess, right?
Yeah, element of surprise and just a strong belief that, hey, we're going to get it done.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, helped force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete.
Let's not quibble about the game there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
They'll look to throw. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
You absolutely have to have this early on, right? 3rd and short, they elect to throw for it, and that's normal NFL football. They're going to throw on 3rd and short, but you've got to hit it, don't you?
Yeah, in the first quarter, like you said, to set the tone, can't connect there. So on 4th down, on comes the Giants kicker, Aldrick Rosas. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. And Rosas puts this one through, and that will tie us at 3-3. Remember, with Rosas, there was some speculation last year in the preseason that he might not hold on to his job with the Giants.
But he certainly answered the challenge, didn't he? 32 of 33 during the regular season, 97% that is, and was named to the NFC Pro Bowl team. And by the way, at 6'3", 234, he can bench press your kicker.
Field goals, all we've had so far. 3-3 now as the kick is away. This will be taken about the 12. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Here's McKissick. The star at nearby Michigan, Jabril Peppers, in on the stop. These two teams all tied after one.
Quarterback, don't get nervous now. We ain't beginning to tear you up.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
On fourth down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. Jabril Peppers is deep for the Giants. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. A reminder, later tonight, Sunday Night Football will see a game in the NFL 100 Series, a rematch of the very first AFL-NFL Championship game, later, of course, known as Super Bowl I. It pits the Packers against the Chiefs from Arrowhead, and that should be a fun one. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's got the rookie, Darius Slayton. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
As a general manager, you're counting on your first and second round draft picks to have a big-time impact on your team. But where you make your bones, rounds 3 through 7. If you can find a few diamonds in the rough there, develop them, then you've got something going, and we're seeing one right here.
Yeah, plays like that lead me to believe that they found a diamond in the rough. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up first and 10. Now Saquon Barkley. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Tavon Wilson up to make the tackle.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. And Ingram hauls it in. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 30.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
This quarterback now 4 out of 10 throwing the ball in this first half, but he's got a first down here. Now back to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side and nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete. Ball on the 30 as they come up second and 10. On play action, they'll throw. Finds his tight end Ingram. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. This is Barkley. Broken tackle. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. On the run, it's Barkley. And he's going to bull his way into the end zone for a Giants touchdown. Saquon Barkley, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Giants have taken the lead.
Well, we got a little bit of everything on that run. Offensive line creating some space, but how about the guy running behind his pads into the end zone?
What does that mean when a guy says running behind his pad?
Means that he's going to be a physical runner. That way he's able to use his shoulder pads, his forearms, anything to ward off people to power his way forward.
Aldrich Rosas on for the extra point. And it is up. And it's good. That'll make our score 10-3 now. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it's capped off by a touchdown run from Saquon Barkley. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. A carry now for McKissick. Now a loose football. The ball comes out. And who's got it? The Giants.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. They go play action here on 1st down. And this is Shepard on the catch. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 18 yards that time to push him up 1st and goal. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. They'll try and run forward with Barkley. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Rosas to add the extra point. It's up and good, and that makes it 17-3. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Well, look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some...
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Give the sack to Lorenzo Carter.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Danny Amendola, that was the intended target, and it'll bring up third down. And he'll give it here to his running back. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on fourth down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Here's Sam Martin now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Here comes Peppers. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. And New York set to take the field. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now.
Well, you don't have to be a genius to watch this game and figure out they've had plenty of success moving the football here in the first half. We've seen exhibits A, B, C, and right on down the line, haven't we?
Yeah, we just saw exhibit Z right there. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. He's got the first down inside the 10. That one caught by Ellison. And he'll finally be taken down at the 2-yard line.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
They come out here in the eye. And what can they do here on 2nd and goal? 3 red zone trips so far have yielded 2 touchdowns and a field goal. A toss out to Barkley. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line.
Right there. Oh, there, baby.
So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Hi again, everybody. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the league here in the unofficial midway point, Week 8 of the NFL season. We'll start up at New Era Field just outside of Buffalo. And it's the Bills who lead that one late in the second quarter. Josh Allen has thrown 2 touchdown passes. From there, we head down south to Atlanta to check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And they trail in that ball game to the visiting Seattle Seahawks. Russell Wilson has thrown a touchdown pass. Lastly, let's head up to the Twin Cities to check in on the Vikings at home in Minneapolis. And they were winners in their ball game as they beat the visiting Washington Redskins. Kirk Cousins leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Second half ready to get rolling. The Giants with a lead, and they are set to receive this kick. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So now the Giants set to take over on offense. They've got the lead right now, and remember, they are riding that very impressive 7-game winning streak, trying to push it to 8. Second half begins with a run from Barkley. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. First down, Giants on a pickup of 14.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
They'll look to throw here on first down. It's hauled in by Shepard. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Russell Shepard, his second touchdown on the season. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit, get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what, whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever, this was a big score to start the second half.
Rosas now to add the PAT. Oh, and it's a fake. They'll try and throw for it. And this fake extra point attempt failed big time. Not only did they not get it, they went backwards.
Partner, that type of a lead, and they're going to fake it from the 15 to try and pick up a 2-point play instead of kicking it through the post. Come on, man. Put that in mothballs. Come on. Come on. Don't do that.
Put that in mothballs?
Yeah, preserve that for it. That's an ancient relic. Faking it. I can understand. You want to rub it in a little. You fake it when you snapped it from the 3. But from the 15, mothball that bad boy, just like my grandmother had.
Yeah,
in her attic, the stuff she used to preserve.
My grandmother did the same. It smelled terrible. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. So we're going to look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. They'll go again with McKissick. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Stanford. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a lion that's shaken up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside.
Set. Go 20. Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant. Watch this pretty high.
Now a 1st down throw. Stafford. This complete to Jones. 7 yards the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down. 3rd and 2. Stafford. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
They're not ready for this, man. They're not ready for this. They still playing soccer.
The 1st down carry here for Johnson. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
Now to Galladay on the jet sweep. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. Now it's Stanford. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Kareem Martin. He's the culprit, causes a loss of 5, and it brings up 4th down.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Detroit. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked. But instead, they'll keep it on 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. They'll set up to throw. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down. But the passing game right now for them, not overly impressive. Last week he hit on right at 50%. This week he's under 50%.
And it's not just on him. Protection, a few breakdowns along the way. That's made him get off the spot. Receivers not getting their way open downfield. The coverage has been awfully tight. They've got to all get together and find ways to make this passing game get in gear.
Here's Riley Dixon now. On presumably to punt, though he did. And look at this, another fake. And this is caught. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. The fake punt works to absolute perfection, and the Giants are able to add on to their lead. That certainly went against the traditional ways of playing football, but who cares? Look at the result. Big touchdown.
They went for it on their own side of the 50. So there's conservative, there's aggressive, and there's really aggressive, which is what we just saw there. Tip of the cap to them.
Rosas to add the extra point. And that stretches the lead to 27. So they catch him napping a bit. They go with a fake punt, able to get it out complete, and then take it all the way into the end zone for 6 points. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. On the ground, this is Johnson. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. And he's going to be taken down. They sack him on what will be the final play of quarter number 3. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here's Sam Martin now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Returning is Peppers. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. And he's found the end zone twice, and now I'm guessing he's thinking, hey, let's find it 3 times.
And you got to figure from the defensive perspective, how has he gotten there twice? What are we going to do to keep him out for a 3rd time? how do we tighten things down, because he and his offensive mates, they are really in sync right now.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. The 20. Touchdown, Giants. Saquon Barkley, 52 yards, as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the three phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase.
And it's a fake. They'll try and throw for it. And his throw's going to be incomplete. They've got this big lead. They said, forget one. We want two. Instead, they got zero.
Unbelievable that they didn't even attempt it from the 15-yard line. What are they thinking? I do know this. When you fake one in this situation with that type of a lead, especially from the 15-yard line, oh, boy. I tell you what, meeting them again somewhere down the line, they'll remember this. Yeah, they'll think that they were trying to clown them a little bit.
Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards, as he'll get this only back to the 20. So out now come the Lions. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. The intended target, T.J. Hawkinson. That'll bring up second down. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now Stafford. He's got his man. It's Curse. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. The Lions on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 8. To throw is Stafford. Screenplay, Johnson. First down for the Lions on a nice pickup of 18 yards.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller, since the screen pass was available, whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
Stafford now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Throwing again is Stafford. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And he will bring it back. It's a pick six and a Giants touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but if the ball's in the air, they treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Rosas now to add the PAT. And oh, he takes off with it. It's a fake. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And he'll get into the end zone as the two-point conversion is successful.
Partner, they're up big. They snap the ball from the 15 for a regular PAT, yet they fake it and get it. Is the kicker's leg tired? What's going on here?
I don't know, but defensively, now with this deficit, now you add 2 more onto that. They faked the PAT. That stings a little.
It definitely stings, and I know the guys that I played for, they wouldn't be as mad at the opposition as they would have been at us for allowing that to happen.
This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this fourth quarter. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Stafford here coming off his pick 6. And his throw here's incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off. I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. The Lions on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Throwing is Stafford. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Dexter Lawrence, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
For a rookie first-rounder, he's made a huge impact on this defense, but that tells me that they had a plan for him when they drafted him. Just turn him loose, do what you do best, go get the quarterback.
Here's Sam Martin now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. That's pulled in at the 32. Pushing his way inside the 40. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. And New York set to take the field. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, you know, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who have been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from the first one and blew out the Seahawks.
Well, first down there on a pickup of 25. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run with Barkley. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll go to Barkley again. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
First down, Giants.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. The quick slant caught. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Another good completion on the drive as the Giants have a first down.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
Will try to punch it in, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that, got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. That one looks like he'll throw here. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10.
When you're this close to the goal line, you got to expect pressure from the defense, so the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of his hands quicker.
They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. Now back to throw. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. Well, they could just run this clock out, but here is the field goal unit on 4th down. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Throwing, Jones. The fake field goal catches everyone by surprise as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Rosas to add the extra point. Oh, and it's a fake. They'll try and throw for it. That is caught inside the 5. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line.
Let me go ahead and show my age a little bit. I liked it when they would fake it from the 3-yard line, right? When you'd line up, go ahead and, oh, there's a fake, and he's going to get 2. That's great. But from the 15, the risk-reward, it's just not there.
So risky to get 15 yards on a fake. Well, you see the result right there.
Yeah, I know these young whippersnappers are trying to do different things in this game, but let's go back to old reliable. Kick the ball through the post.
Get off my lawn.
That's darn right.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. He's going to let it fly. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. Danny Amendola, the man he was trying to get it to. But it'll be 2nd down. One last throw here for Stafford. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete. So the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Giants, they continue to cruise through this first half of the schedule as they move to 8-0 now on the campaign. And they will head back home next week.